Alright, moving on to the next game. Largo versus Ace. In the top position, as the green Zerg, it is Ace. Ace of Central Europe. And in the bottom position, as the purple Terran, we have Rams of Russia. Slightly awkward, but that's fine. I guess this is why I won some Icy Cup to begin with. Alright. So, TVZ on destination. I think it was the other way around, really. A lot of the players from TLS quit midway through to play Nation War. I know Gem did that. I'm trying to think of like Russians that got far. Like, wasn't it only Must? Wasn't Must the only Russian that did well there? So I guess maybe him, and only him. There were a few. I heard Ace did that, and Gem did that, and South Park did that. I was just listening to Russian, I knew. Oh yeah, TTF did pretty well. Although according to TLS he's British, so you know. He doesn't actually count as Russian. On Wikipedia he's listed as British, which I find really funny. Like, of all countries, why Britain? But it's not like there was another British person like around him that could be confused. He's like, nope, the one British guy. Alright, so on this map, we tend to see some non-bio play from Terran. Terrans like their vultures on this map, Terrans like their tanks on this map, like their dropships, like their wraiths, and all of them just have these huge wide range of options you can do. So, we'll not be surprised at all to see Rams go for something like that. We'll also not be surprised at all to see Ace go for a very fast Hydralisk Den. Because all those things I just mentioned, vultures, tanks, dropships, wraiths, all can be dealt with by Hydralisks in the early game. Tanks obviously not so bad versus Hydralisks once you get a little bit later on, but in the early game when there's only like 2 of them, Hydralisks can be pretty effective. So, we did see Rams get the early gas as an indication that, oh, really? Really? He's getting an engineering bay. I mean, that's the other thing you can do with an early gas. Go for a +1, which it looks like that's what he's going to be doing instead. Ooh, this is interesting. Typically, this map's not known as the best for bio, just because, first off, how very good everything else is for Terran on this map. And the map isn't particularly special for bio, but the one thing that doesn't work well for bio is these bridges. Lurkers are way too affected on these bridges, and these bridges, and these bridges, and like 3 other sets of bridges. There's too many bridges on this map for bio to be good. Which is why most players try to avoid it. But Rams... Wait, I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something weird. This isn't the standard +1 build, but it's a +1 build where I guess slightly faster academy and not throwing down 3 racks at once. Or no, that's the normal time for the academy. I guess the barracks is just kind of a little bit oddly timed. It looks weird because it almost looks like 2 Racks Academy, but then it's not. All right. So, okay. So there we go. We do have the 4 Racks. Normally, you see Terran players like to throw them all down at once, but Rams doing them one by one. All right. So, we did see Ace get the Hydralisk Den. Obviously, he hasn't been scouting Rams, and even if he did scout Rams, he would not be going for it. It's not as if Hydralisks are good versus this kind of army. Actually, quite bad versus this kind of army. But as I said, Ace will probably just get Hydralisk Den in case there are lurkers or tanks or dropships or wraiths. Now we do have the Spire on the way for Ace. It's going to be 3 hatch Spire, 3 hatch Muta. Now while the Hydralisk Den isn't very good in the beginning, it may actually turn out to be a blessing in disguise for Ace. The +1 timing attack is all about beating lurkers. You want to kill off your opponent before they can get their lurkers out. If Zerg goes for a lurker first build and rushes to lurkers, this gets so ridiculously hard countered. But you don't see a lot of Zerg players do that because they like Mutalisks. Mutalisks are pretty effective generally, so they want to go for the Mutalisks first. But since Ace got the Hydralisk Den already, he's going to have his lurkers a little bit faster than he might have otherwise had them. And that's going to work out in his favor against what Rams is trying to do here. Rams should be able to get a factory up by then, I think, unless he's going to commit even harder to this. There we go, now canceling 1 Marine. Anyway, he should be able to get some tanks up in time, so it won't be a game winner from Ace once he gets the lurkers out, but still, I don't think that Rams is going to be able to do too much with his +1 army. Unfortunately, Ace loses an Overlord there. Alright. Lurker FP needs a little bit more time, and then we'll be getting in there. Ace is going in for an attack before them, though. Actually, that attack should have been a lot worse for Ace, but he really hit at the absolute best way he could with his Zerglings. And he pulled back just because that attack should have been a lot worse for him, but he could have finished that off. There were only 3 Marines and 4 medics there. That would have been really nice to pick off all of Largo's medics. Rams' medics. Largo was last game. This is Rams. So we do have factory coming up now for Rams. Siege tanks need a little bit more time beyond that, and the first lurker is on the way. Presumably there will be more. There are a couple more over here. Rams went a little bit quick with his +1. Normally you wait a little bit longer to go for it, but instead he went early and he lost it, so he doesn't quite have the same punch that he would had he not lost that earlier army. And even if he had a bigger Marine army, how's he going to cross the double bridge? How are you going to get past lurkers and sunkens on this bridge? He's just not. You need to back up now. And he will. He's Mutalisks looking for a little bit of harass, but Rams is very turreted up. Yeah. Sounds like we lost one. Alright. So, the Mutalisks aren't being terribly effective anymore. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turrets? 10 turrets used to be a lot more normal than it is nowadays. But really, it shouldn't have been necessary at all. Because of the +1 build, because of this kind of build, you normally don't need as many turrets. But Rams is choosing to build all these turrets anyway. It is a lot of money invested there. But at the same time, he doesn't need to keep bringing this army back every time the Mutalisks attack, so maybe it was worth it. Still not doing any damage with it quite yet, but Ace is only on 3 bases, so not that bad. He's on 3 base Hive with Defiler Mound and another Greater Spire, huh? With Hive and Greater Spire. Alright. So, Mutalisks are being used here. Normally that's kind of the time where it's okay to throw away Mutalisks like that to pick off Marines. But since he's going for the Greater Spire, maybe he wants to reconsider throwing away his Mutalisks. He does have 5. 5's an okay number of Guardians. I don't think this is the best place for the Guardians, though. I think he wants them over on this side. A little bit easier for them to get in to attack. And Rams is still trying to mount an attack here. Wow. He scanned? I don't know if he was able to see the lurkers. Oh, man. Maybe he was. Ace bringing his lurkers. Losing 2 lurkers and for absolutely nothing. And now that siege tanks are here, they are able to get over the vastness of this bridge to attack the Sun colonies on the other side. Gonna make it a little bit harder. A little bit harder for Ace to just hide behind this now. Without the sunken colonies, the siege tanks, as long as Rams don't do anything silly and move them too far forward, this can still be dangerous though. The Defilers are out, and one swarm here, the Lings can come in and pick all of those off. We do have Lings on the other side of the map taking out the command center. Still waiting to see there we go. They're the Guardians. And there's a nice swarm. We do have an Irradiate going down. There's only an Irradiate on the Defiler. Man, but Rams able to pull out of there. Rams taking it nice and cautious this game with the turret placement, with his attacks. Seems to be working out pretty well for him so far, though. Ace is certainly feeling the pressure, and his counterattack's not really hitting. But he does have backstabs with Lings, denying this base. He does have Guardians. There we go. He does have Guardians coming in and should be able to score a lot of kills here. They already have a lot of kills from just being Mutalisks, but now coming in, they're going after the turrets first. They can do a lot of damage to the SCVs if they target those ones. Unfortunately, the SCVs do have 1 armor upgrade, so it takes 4 Guardian shots instead of just 3 to kill them. And Ram still does not want to cross the double bridge. It's a wise decision. There are other bases he can be attacking here. And we have a Radiate on... Oh! Radiate on one of the Guardians. The other Guardian just accidentally flies into turret range, gets immediately killed. Only 3 Guardians left after this one goes down. But they certainly done damage. Certainly done damage. Killing off this base. Killing off a lot of the SCVs, actually. And now flying in to take out this bunker, we'll be able to pick off some more Marines. But it looks like Rams now wants to attack this. He's tired of just losing stuff to these Guardians. The Guardians try to retreat. The irradiated one dies, but the other 2 are still going to live. Ace is just going to be really annoying with this. Up at the top, Rams has been able to take out that base before it really got started. And hasn't quite been able to take out this one so far. Swarm and Lurkers are pretty strong. Guardians still doing a lot of damage here. Alright, another turret coming down. That one's going to get denied as well. And over on this side, Ace is trying to push out of his 3rd base, trying to keep the bio ball away. There we go, finally the last Guardian is going to fall. And that will be the end of Ace's air harass. Now Rams has been able to set up this base, but he doesn't have the best of economic situations here, as he did sustain a lot of damage as natural, and his main is getting close to mining out. By pulling guys from his main now, though, he won't need to remake that many SCVs. Actually, I don't think he'll need to remake any at all. Drop from Rams. And this could be pretty effective here. There is... Oh no, this is not going to be effective at all. Ace was ready for that, shut it down brutally, and they do manage to kill off one lurker, but that is it. Even getting the dropship. Alright. So. It's 95 supply compared to 152. It's not unwinnable for Zerg, but it's not looking the best here. Ace's been able to do a lot of fun stuff, but by Rams just playing it so safe, so methodically, like the fun stuff that Ace has been doing doesn't matter in the long term. Ace has been throwing away more units in the end than he's been killing off. And while each individual thing is kind of fine, he's just been devoting so much to it. Looks like Ling's going for a counterattack here, but the minerals are not mined out. So not a whole lot that can be done. Alright. Ace moving out again, and we're going to have lurkers up on the hill here. Ooh, under Swarm, going to be able to pick off as much bio as Rams decides to leave around, which apparently is going to be a pretty healthy amount here. Ooh, mine hits. Unfortunately losing a lot of his medics there. And wow. He's gonna get one more swarm down to Mind Drag and Mind Drag into the bio, so that one last Ling can do some damage, but reinforcements coming, and Rams is going to lose another base. This is the kind of stuff that Ace needs. This is the kind of stuff that Ace needs. It's going to get him back into this game, going to keep Rams on such a low economy that he won't be able to macro very well. And he's going to have a hard time replacing the units that he does end up losing, that he can't quite be cautious enough to save. But Rams' reinforcements have arrived. There's already been a lot of SCV kills here. Now, that base, for all intents and purposes, was taken out. Just so much damage to the SCVs, it's going to take a long time to remake them. We still only have 1-1 upgrades from Rams. I would have expected him to either get better upgrades at this point, or to have switched to mech. And it looks like he's going for the mech switch, just a little bit late with that. Just a little bit. I mean, we've seen him with tanks and vultures out. He's trying to, but he hasn't fully committed to the mech. Again, very cautious. You can just jump into mech and kind of hope you live through the first 5 minutes, but then be really strong afterwards. Or you can kind of do what Rams is doing and wade yourself in. Never stop with the Marine production. He's still doing it even now, but you know, every once in a while you lift a barracks up when you need to set down the machine shop. Stuff like that. Alright. So, looking at the base count, we have Ace going for a very aggressive base here. Might not be necessarily a bad decision, just because he can put lurkers at the top of a ramp. There we go. Put lurkers at the top of the ramp a lot easier than he could at this base. So, but a little bit of a hidden base here, and then he has 1, 2. We're gonna call both of those combined 3. So, I mean, he has 3 bases mining right now, but it's going to stay 3 bases for a while, even though he has 2 incoming. As for Rams, we have 1 base, 2 base, where this one's almost mined out, and this one does not have the best of saturation. Maybe Rams, he was looking good for a while there, but now maybe he ended up playing it a little bit too passively. Maybe he did play it too passively. I guess we're going to find out. Command center on the way. Going to discover that he cannot actually land a command center there. It's preoccupied a little bit. Rams has switched to mech, though. Finally switching to mech. And Mech does have a lot of strong features on this map. It can be very hard for Ace to move around. It does have a lot of Ultralisks, so you know, Ultralisks are pretty good at bullying through walls. How many Lings are going to die to these mines? They're pretty clumped up. Not as many as you'd initially think, and the Ultralisks, more importantly, are pretty much safe from the mines. But man, they're not doing anything. Oh, the Ultralisks, they got to decide a direction to go. Oh man, that attack from Ace. I don't know what happened there, but all the units just clumped up here in range of the siege tanks. Ate a lot of damage and really did not kill too many Terran units. Ace with a critical mistake there. He's back to being 50 supply behind. Well, 40 supply behind at least. I don't even know what that was. So the mech's going to start to move up in this direction. This base is going to be completely denied. Might take a little while to get through the creep colonies and the hatcheries to be able to set this down, but eventually it will die. Ace coming in from for another attack, deciding against it. Where are the Defilers? Ace has enough gas for the Defilers. There we go, there's a Defiler. Good, good. Definitely want a couple Defilers with an army like this. It's a very strong army composition, especially with only 117 supply. But he's got to find the hole. He's got to find the right angle to attack and not eat not eat too many mine hits. I'm looking for the armories. I want to see. Yes, they are both researching more upgrades. That's good. Rams definitely wants to have more upgrades right now. He has 2 attack, which is quite nice, but more upgrades the better. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Not a single Ultralisk gets through. Oh. Oh, Mech is... Man, Mech's good. This map is so good for Mech, and Rams isn't even abusing the fact that there are these bridges here that he could have his tanks by. No, he's going to allow Ace to engage him in the most open part of the map, and yet he still kills all the Ultralisks. Oh, man, that might be it for Ace. Throwing away that many Ultralisks? Ugh. All right. What's he gonna do? He's now using his Defilers. Now getting his Ultralisk into good position. Okay. This can do some damage here. Now we can do some damage. Wow, yeah. Rams just is not going to move away from the swarm. He is going to eat it face first. But, yeah, it doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't do that much damage. A couple reinforcements coming in from the side. Nope, not going to go towards the mines. They do manage to clean up the last of the tank in that part of the army. Obviously, a lot more tanks over on this side. We do have Rams. He's only on 1 base of mining. Ace isn't dead yet. If he can just deny the space. He's just got to deny it. There are no tanks up there. Ah. Did I hear drop? No, that had to be a nice canal. Had to be a nice canal somewhere. Alright. Gearing up for an attack over on this side? Yes. We're on 2 bases. Both players have 2 bases running right now. Ace setting up a 3rd running base here. And both players do have their mineral onlys. Keep that in mind. These are very safe mineral onlys. Well, relatively safe mineral onlys. They can be counterattacked by speedlings or vultures if you're not careful, but they're pretty far away from everything else. The players do have that option if they really just desperately need the minerals here. Ace with good upgrades. He's got 2-5 on the Ultralisks. And trying to get as far forward as he can before the... Ooh, trying to get as far forward as he can before the thing dies and to get a swarm off. Now there are siege tanks on the high ground. He did wait a little bit long to do this. Oh man, getting that one swarm off too just before it dies. Here comes the Scourge. They're going to be able to land a lot of hits here. turret is not going to do anything to stop that. Killing off a lot of the science vessels, and this attack's coming in. Can he deny Rams' base here? Can he keep Rams to just one base? It's looking like it. SCV's taking a lot of damage from Irradiate, but most of them get out. A little bit more than half, I'd say. And this base is denied. That's what Ace needs. This is actually a very close game. Very back and forth, at least personally, on who I think could win. I mean, Ace, he's keeping Terran on one base, but Terran's got 130 supply and mech. That's so hard to deal with. That mech is at 3-1? 3-1 mech. How do you deal with that? And, oh, he can't afford to be losing Ultralisk like this. A Swarm, what are you doing? Run away. Oh, no, we're going in for another attack. That's what he's doing. Just waiting for more reinforcements to show up. Because he wants to keep this base denied. But can he? The siege tanks. The siege tanks have lit the command center on fire. But no, it will be immediately repaired. The Scourge looking for a science vessel to kill. But there are no science vessels to be found. Now fleeing away. All the SCVs are transferring back. This base is running out. This game is just going to come down to this base. Ace is throwing everything he has at denying it. Rams needs to keep it though, because he is not going to be able to take this base. That's not going to happen. This base, probably not either. I talked about how it was pretty safe earlier, but let's be honest, all of his army is so far over on this side of the map, he doesn't want to split it up. Man, and this gas is going to die. Not that it really matters. Rams has plenty of gas, and he'll still be able to mine gas from here, and here, kind of, and here, kind of. Man. Overlord speed? Overlord speed this late, it has to be Doom drops. Has to be Doom drops. Right? I guess that's it. I was thinking going for another Guardian switch here would be kind of crazy, but it could really work. I mean, turrets don't do anything against Guardians, and look at all those tanks. Look at all those tanks. They push the tanks so far. Oh no, we're going in. We're going in. Swarm, great first swarm, but there aren't all that many units here for Ace. I mean, he can take out 3 tanks or so. Another swarm going down. He's got a pathway if he's going to rally in more units. But it's just not a whole lot of units to deal with that many tanks. Maybe he's just going for a couple kills here and there. Oh, get the Lurker power forward. You can put it here under the swarm. Attack the lit. Oh, move the Lurker. Move the Lurker. Make it invincible under the swarm. Oh, that's painful. That's painful. You gotta get the Lurker here. You can kill all the SCVs. You can completely shut down all mining. Oh, that's a nice plague, though. 5 units and even a command center in that plague. Softening it up. Softening it up. They have 2 armor. That's not going to matter now that they're plagued. Finally, Ace getting his perfect. Ooh, we're canceling something. Here it is. There's the drop. We're gearing up for Doom drops. This base will be dropped in a Doom variety. Alright, turret taken out by siege tank fire. Ram's no longer holding up here. He doesn't want to even bother with that. He's just gonna pack here. Everything Rams owns is going to be in this very small base. Now repairing the plagued tanks. Oh, they're all repaired. Alright, that's a little bit of money wasted. So I guess the plague did do something. We're up there. I'm trying to figure out what the siege tanks are firing at. Just a couple of free links. Alright, over on this side, I guess Rams has finally hit critical mass here. He can't put anything more to defend. So now, shifting his attention over to maybe another base on this side? Maybe? How much longer till drop? Oh man, drop is a slow upgrade. Still halfway. Alright. So. Ace is gearing up. Ace isn't attacking anymore. Like, there's an eerie calm here, but it's because they know Like, Rams knows he's gearing up for one final attack. Ace knows he's gearing up for one final attack. The drop needs a little bit more time. Ace almost find out here, which means he's on 2 bases. He can get a third. He can take that mineral only anytime he needs it. But he's, considering his army composition, I imagine he's a little bit more interested in the gas. Oh no. There was a plague on the science list, so that doesn't matter. Oh, that's brutal. That's going to do a lot of damage to the Ultralisk, kill off some Lings too. A great move, even if the science vessels do get plagued by Ram. Or even if Rams and science vessels do get plagued, it doesn't matter. And are we getting an SCV to repair them? I wouldn't be surprised if we got an SCV to repair them. Ouch. 2 more Ultralisk dead. Here we go. Here's the load up. Here is the load up. Where are we going with this Doom drop? We are dropping this base. We are going to try to crack it. There are Goliaths way back here. There are turrets in the front. I think Rams knows the Doom drop is coming. But can he stop it? Can he stop it? One Overlord goes down, but it has nothing in it. Defiler immediately dies. He can't get the swarm off. He can't get the swarm off. There's no swarm here. Oh, but is it enough? Does he need swarm? Maybe he can get through this. An Overlord is irradiated. It's going to take out a lot of other Overlords. Ace probably supply blocked at this point, and no, it's not enough. One final shot to break that base. GG from Ace. Rams. Slow and steady was, in fact, the correct way. Takes game number 1. Alright. Alright. Whoops. I did not click the right map. Chain reaction. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright. So, on the right side is the red Zerg. It is Ace. That is 3 o'clock. Left side, as blue Terran, it is Rams. He is 9 o'clock. Alright. Red versus blue. Very nice colors. So, I'm assuming that Ace picked this map so that Rams wouldn't be able to turtle. Because this map is not easy to turtle on. Maybe you can if you can get up to the same kind of mech count Rams had last game, but it's certainly going to be harder than on some kind of 4-player map. On Ground Zero or an electric circuit. That one's not that hard to turtle on. This one can be a little bit tricky if you don't have that big of a mech force quite yet. And what is Ace going to go for this game? What is Ace going to go for? It's no early 9 pool. This map can be nice for some early aggression. Certainly have options on reverse ramp maps. Alright. So, there we go. Gonna be a 12 pool. 12 pool from Ace. Alright, let's go middle of the road here. And what do we have from Rams? What do we have from Rams other than a scout apparently? I think he's saving up money. He's gonna go for 1 Rax FE. Alright. Alright. Can't believe I actually am gonna have to talk about this, but kind of do. Guardians on this map. Guardians on this map could be quite nice. There's a nice big cliff on the back here, which Marines can get to, but they'll have to go through a choke, and the Guardians can pick them off as they get into position to attack, as the Guardians are just raining death from over here. And this natural, not the best natural for Guardian Harass, but you can get in here. I think there are certainly better maps for Guardians, but we've seen Guardians so much out of Hungary today that maybe we'll see it again. There are a lot of air units or air type strategies that work really well on this map because of the close by air distance, but Guardians not quite one of them. Not as good as the Mutalisks are going to be, or going for any kind of drop strategy from really any race. Alright. Anyway, once again, we're going to see Rams go with the early bunker. Normally, Terrans, when they build an early bunker, put it in the front, but he's instead going to put it in a little bit more of a defensive position behind the command center. It means that it's not going to be as effective later on to help out against the lurkers if you need a bunker then, but it'll be safer against the early lings, and Rams obviously is building that for the early lings primarily. It's just that if he had built it farther forward, he'd have a little bit of extra use from it later on. Alright. So, Ace is getting his lair now. Looks like 3 hatch muta from him. And this is actually one of the few maps where the natural is more safe against muta harass than the main is. What you want to really look for when considering whether a base is safe for muta harass is the positioning of its mineral line compared to the wall and how many turrets you can fit in. Where this one is pretty much an ideal base to be defending against muta harass, because you can put a lot of turrets in here and some turrets in here, and the mineral patch is completely pressed up against the wall, so it's really hard for the Mutalisks to get in there in the first place. Where this base, it's not pressed up against anything, it's out in the open, so Mutalisks can come in from any direction. Obviously a lot of space for turrets, so it's not as bad as maybe some other maps are, like the natural on Jade. That would be a... no. Am I thinking Jade? I'm thinking of Outlier. Not quite as bad as that, but still not very good. Same build from Rams. Same kind of funky barracks timing too. So we'll see what he can get out of the +1 build. And ooh, Ace! Ace, I love it. I love it. He's not going 3 hatch muta, he's going 3 hatch lurker. This is really nice. This isn't exactly the best map for lurkers, but as I was trying to describe in the last game, lurkers just hard counter what Rams is doing so hard that I think Ace is going to be in a really nice position once he gets these lurkers out. Unfortunately, scan does go down, so he's going to... So he is going to see the Hydralisk tank coming. He sees lurkers. He does not see that the lair is researching drop. Where are the overlords? Are the overlords already starting to get into position? There's an overlord. That is the overlord that will be transporting the lurkers in. These will be the lurkers that are transported in. I mean, yeah. If you're going to be super offensive with the lurkers, then this map is good for lurkers. As somebody's saying in chat, you can break through either of the back doors with lurkers and attack from behind. But I was talking about more traditional uses of lurkers. The map's kind of open, and it has a circle dynamic. It's not linear, so it's possible that the lurkers are just completely circumvented. The bases aren't very well defended by lurkers, so you can't quite save yourself from early attacks as well as you could on other maps. But yes, you can attack very well with lurkers. And drops, as saying, anything that involves air is very good on this map. That includes the lurker drops. That does involve air to some extent. Something like this, though, like this ramp is not very good for using the lurkers defensively. And Ace might end up losing that base, but he does have lurkers in Ramses' base. There's a turret here. It's a little bit unfortunate. Might be... No, going to go after the Marines first. Or not the Marines, the SCVs first. And oh man. And then go for the turret. That SCV is just gonna keep mining. Oh, that's pretty sick though. He's like dodging lurker spines that mine. Alright, this base is cancelled or destroyed, one of the two. And now lurkers are back though. With that number of lurkers, it is going to be hard for Rams to engage. And this lurker drop is just going to do so much damage. How many kills they already have? They already have a combined 13 kills. One of it was the turret, and like 5 of it was Marines. So that leaves about 7. It leaves about 7 SCV kills. Switching targets, instead of going after the Comsat station, like this a lot. He's not going to be denying a scan at the moment, as it doesn't have enough energy for that, but we'll be taking it out for future scanning purposes. No! So close. But not quite enough firepower with those 2 lurkers. So this base will live, and nothing's on fire. Or, well, everything's on fire, but nothing is damaged enough to start burning. There we go. Going after this temple. So, interesting opening from Ace. It did some good damage. It's certainly going to put Rams on the back. Why are you getting a Spire? That's not going to be for Mutalisks, I don't think. I don't think he's going to transition into Mutalisk from this. Normally I'd say it's for Scourge. Just to snipe science vessels. Could be for Guardians. You know, he's getting the same time as the Hive. Huh? Is he? Is he? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're not going to skip Mutas and go for Guardians. I'm pretty sure it's for scourging, I think it's for scourging the science vessels instead of the dropships. But you know, given the games today, you had to leave the possibility open that he was going to go Guardians. You had to do it. You just had to. Alright. And there is the very first science vessel coming out from Rams. He is definitely going to need it, as there are 7 lurkers right outside his front door. Yeah, consumes on the way. Should be making a defiler already, I would imagine. No, not quite yet. Doesn't really matter if you don't make the defiler until you have consume energy, or until consume's pretty close to being done, because you won't get the first swarm out any faster. But, you know, never hurts to have the defilers. Now, oh, we are going to try to bust out here. Man, Rams, are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? This might be listening to you. You have siege tanks and science vessels. Maybe go slowly this game. Maybe going slowly in this game is the right idea. But where Ace does not go slow. Ace goes fast. Ace is just going to go in for the kill right now. Does he have enough? Here, he's losing dudes pretty quickly now. Man, there's a lot of blood surrounding that siege tank. The siege tank does eventually die. He manages to push up the ramp. Not gonna head right back down. Yo. Well, proxying the siege tank wouldn't work, because there's no room to put the machine shop up here. As Ace goes in, this time he has swarm, so he might be able to just win. Maybe if you put it behind the natural over here, you could do it, but it wouldn't work immediately behind the base. Alright. So we do have the Scourge coming in, trying to snipe that one science vessel, not going to get it, but it may just not matter. They got lurkers, they got lings, they got swarm, and that's all that really matters. The other siege tank goes down, and these lings are going to take out all the buildings over here. We threatening down the ramp? We are threatening down the ramp. Oh, cannot get the... There we go. Get the other swarm off. Now the lurkers can move in. Now the lurkers can eventually move in. Alright. So, I don't think there's a way Rams can defend against this. He doesn't have any siege tanks even. He's only making vultures. A couple of science missiles coming out so they can get an irradiate or two off. It's rather nice. Unfortunately, there are still a few lurkers left that could not be irradiated. Alright. And man, all the lings arrive, and now that the lings are here, he doesn't have swarm to help them out. So he still can't quite finish it off. The Zerg units don't have upgrades, which is certainly hurting them here, where Rams has 1-1. It's why the Marines are doing so well against the lings and the lurkers when they don't have swarm protecting them. Not quite enough. Not quite enough yet. Rams is actually winning in the supply battle, but obviously that won't be lasting long. He's trying hard to reestablish this natural, and Rams, he's actually managed to repel the Zerg attack. Like, Ace didn't have enough defilers somehow, so he couldn't just keep swarming, but... Oh, now we have another defiler. And... Oh no, it's getting irradiated. Man, these science vessels are doing great stuff right here. And he's actually going to... I think he was going in for the swarm, but after getting irradiated, he decided it wasn't worth it because he didn't want to attack now. So might as well get a plague off. These science vessels, though, are really just doing wonders right now. Rams would have died multiple times over without that detection, without that irradiate. And you know, for all the damage that Ace has done with his lurker drop, and then with the big attack through the natural, it's 2 base Terran versus 3 base Zerg, and Terran has a small supply lead. Actually, they're dead even in supply. That's not horrible for Rams right now. That is absolutely not horrible. This game could be going so much worse than it is right now, but he's hanging in there. He's hanging tough. Doing a little bit of vulture harass when you don't have a whole lot of supply. Why not? You get some time to micro. Gonna pick off the defiler. That's worth it, man. Picking off those defilers. They're expensive. Cost a lot of gas. Ace is only on 3 base. He doesn't have that much gas to spare. But we're going in for another attack. Lurker's trying to get forward. There is no siege mode. Tanks. There we go. Tanks now have siege mode, but they can't do a whole lot of damage to these lurkers. When they get under the swarm, the tanks are going to have to back up again. Or not. Apparently they're totally fine where they are. Scourge flying in. Nope. Almost getting close enough to kill off that injured science vessel, but not quite. Whoa, that's not what I'm trying to click on. Man. And now Ace transitioning into Ultralisks. Transitioning into Ultralisks. I can't believe Rams is alive. Like, I thought he was dead. But no, he's alive a little bit. I mean, he's behind on bases, a little bit behind on supply. He could die at any point here. One bad engagement, the game is over for Rams. But at the present moment, a few more bad engagements for Ace, and Rams could even be in the lead. If Ace just throws away like heaps and heaps of units. Oh dear. Oh, was that just the Nice Canal? Oh, it was the Nice Canal. I thought we were going for more drops. We totally could be going for more drops. We can do slow Ultralisk drops over this cliff. Oh, it would be so good. It'd be so good. That actually doesn't seem halfway unreasonable. Alright. Here it comes. Here it comes. Everybody run home. We all need to run home really fast right now. Because we need to get back and hopefully try to hold out against the Ultralisk Onslaught. Oh, that mine didn't hit. That would have been a great mine to have hit. Trying to lay more. Oh, can we get some hits? Can we get some hits here? I think we're getting hits. Injuring the Ultralisk, softening them up a little bit. There's no swarm. There's no swarm. Does Rams have a chance when there's no swarm and everybody's focusing on the command center? He has a small chance. Just a little bit of a chance. Just a little bit of a chance to hold on because the units are going after the wrong things. But no. No. The dream is dead. Rams loses the front. GG. And in game 1, Rams' methodical style was able to get a victory. In game 2, Ace's reckless style, Ace's lurker drop, let's just throw everything at the front style, is gonna tie it up. All right. So, game number 3. Rams versus Ace. Winner of this game will win the set, will put their team up overall 2-1. Man. Alright. In the top right, it's Teal Terran. It is... excuse me. It is Rams. And in the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, we have Ace. And Ramsey should be changed to 1 o'clock. Boom. Alright. So. I was just thinking. I was thinking how this overlay works, because I have to set the position, but I don't have to set the race. The race sets itself. How does it determine the race? It has to like just gather which units both player has, and then by looking at what units they have, they just pick a race. But I wonder if that's coded in a way so that a Protoss player could mind control a unit and build a command center, and then all of a sudden it's a command center. And when this thing is checking for races, it checks Terran first. Does it have command center, yes or no? Then move on to next. And if Protoss built a command center, then they can switch races to Terran in the overlay. That'd be kind of neat. I mean, if it was coded well, I guess it'd probably be something like, look at the number of workers that look at the workers they have, and then whichever type of worker they have the most of, that's what the race they have. Although that wouldn't work if a player doesn't have any workers. If they don't have any workers, then it would read nothing. But there's no situation where the player has no workers. Well, there's some situations. I remember that. That was hilarious. That was freaking hilarious. Oh man, but I can't remember the players now. I think it was Leda. Wasn't it Leda? Yeah, the name... It was Leda, okay, cool. The other dude escapes my mind. I can't remember who it was. For some reason, I'm feeling it's somebody like Yark. But I definitely don't remember the other one. Cal. They didn't Cal? Okay. I would not have gotten Cal. I do remember Flash versus Ruby, where where Flash won the game in -6 seconds. That's pretty sick. Whoa. Well, that's interesting. Rams went to scouted with the SCV, saw that he might be in danger against a Ling attack, stopped building his command center so that this SCV can start building the bunker, and then brought another SCV to finish it off. Ace didn't build any Lings, or didn't build very many Lings this game, only 4, so it wasn't going to be an issue, but it might have been. Man. People talking about Cal and Gujilla. Has there been a time where somebody's changed their names and, like, we accepted their name change? It's like, yep, we are going to let you change your name. That's fine. Like, Baby tried to change his name. Nobody calls him Ty. Nobody calls him Ty. He is Baby. Forever. He'll be Baby forever. Light changed his name to some impronounceable string of characters, but he's Light. Everybody knows him as Light. Well, oh, the other one I was thinking of, Rain/Sun. That one, he might have been able to, I think he changed. I think he changed, but it's only because, like, he was such a new player that we weren't, like, invested in his first name. To be perfectly honest, I don't even remember whether he was Rain first or Sun first and then switched. I'm pretty sure he was Rain first and then switched to Sun. But he's kind of like, he's like a hybrid. He's mixed. I can't think of anybody who we've actually switched. There probably is somebody. Probably is somebody, but I just, like, don't know their previous name. Somebody like Reach, or something stupid like that, where Reach, back in 1998, was actually, I don't know, Seoul, like the city. And then he switched it to Reach, because Reach sounds awesomer. Okay. See? See? It's exactly like that. I did not know that Saber used to be called IPX Zerg. That is new to me. Oh yeah. Haya changed too. But everybody just fucking calls him Haya. No, it was definitely Haya before it was constantly. Like, M18M changed his name to something with like a star in it. It was like Star Power, Stardust, something like that. I can't remember what it is now. But he changed his name. It is Stardust? Cool. I'm glad I can remember that. Anyway. We do have Ace and Rams both playing pretty standard games. Rams still doing the same build he's been doing. Ace, this time going for 3-hatch Muta. So he's playing a standard game for once. Actually, I take that back. He played pretty standard game 1. Although it did involve an early Hydralisk then. Oh yeah. I forgot that he had actually changed his name to Berserker. Alright. So, Ace's Mutalisks aren't home right now. So, he's in a little bit danger of losing his natural because he doesn't have anything to kill the Marines. Now all the Mutalisks have flown black, but they're going to have to eat a lot of damage. They didn't quite get here in time with the rest of the units. So, Ace is going to end up losing a little bit more than he should have there. And now Rams can pull back. He did some damage. Did some good damage. Oh, yeah. God. Like, I almost think of those two people as two different... I almost think of that guy as two different people. Because those are both terrible names. I forgot about that. Forgot about him. There's a lot of them. Alright. So, well, Ace didn't lose his natural. And because Rams committed everything to that, he can't go and attack the third. The third's going to be relatively safe. Though he is moving out, it looks like, to attack the natural once again. Is there only one medic? No, all the medics are back here. Okay. I only saw this one. Didn't see these two. There we go. I was looking for the Mutalisks. They're now flying back home. Marines heading up here, possibly just because of weird pathfinding, but also because they wanted to scout out. Okay, this one is coming down here just to make sure that there isn't a base started. And now it looks like they all are going over to this side. It's a lot of Marines versus just 2 lurkers, but the 2 lurkers should be enough. There's even defilers. They won't be in time, but they're coming. Alright, is Ace using the hold lurkers? Oh, we saw Cashew use hold lurkers rather effectively. Oh, stay back. We come trapped now. Nope, not using hold lurkers, but we are going to do a lot of damage here. Not as much damage as I was expecting, but still, taking out a lot of the Marines. Now units coming in from the back. Unfortunately, the Marines could all get up to the high ground. So now Ace is going to have to attack up the ramp. And he's sending a few Marines at a time to try to deal with this. Oh, nope, we're going to be fine. The Nidus Canal is here. And this attack is going to be stopped with next to... Well, okay, we're trying to lose some drones now. I was going to say next to no casualties. He only had lost a couple of lurkers and a couple of lings, but now he's losing some drones. So it's a little bit of damage. Still trying to get drone kills. Do manage to kill off most of the drones at this base, but it was a lot of Marines invested. It does put Rams in a little bit of a dangerous position. Oh, hey, Guardians. Guardians! Hooray. Man. This team's synergizing. Like, it happened last week too, where like the people from the same team did the same stuff. And this, today, we got that Hungarian Guardian. Alright. I assume he doesn't have +1. No, he doesn't have +1. +1 is uniquely Cashew. And now these are going to do a lot of damage. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing that Rams can do against this. He's just going to go for a counterattack. Hope to kind of do as much damage as he's taking right now. Oh, but here come the lurkers from behind. The lurkers on these ridges become very, very scary, even when you have tanks, as Rams does. And oh, Swarm. Oh, no. Oh, no. Rams. He didn't turtle hard enough. He didn't turtle. He decided to attack instead of coming back to defend, and that was apparently a horrible mistake. There isn't even anything dealing with these right now. Is there a Wraith on the way? No, there's not even a Wraith on the way. Oh, Just going to let the Guardian... There we go, finally! Finally, we're gonna kill off one of the Guardians eventually. Man. So... Yeah. It looks like Ace... Be it Guardian shenanigans, or be it Lurker drop shenanigans, Ace is going to be able to out-shenanigan Rams in this matchup. And now Ace is pushing into the natural. Rams was able to come back from another situation like this, where it seemed like he was almost certainly dead because there was Swarm in his main, but not this time. Not this time. GG from Rams. Ace takes takes the third game, brings the score to 2-1 in favor of Central Europe.